Hello, my fellow Alaskans. Thank you all for joining us here today. I am rapidly running out of time here. They have already begun the House and Senate floor sessions for the concurrence for the joint committees. I am going to do my best to try to keep up with what is going on down there and in Juneau with their decisions on what they're going to do for the budget. They have the House floor session going on right now, which is really confusing how they could be doing this and having the joint committee that they claim that they're supposed to be having at this moment in time. So we got the House and the Senate both meeting at the exact same time. But here is the Finance Committee for Juneau, and we'll just get right into it.
Fund source is 1104, Alaska Municipal Bond Bank Authority receipts, 360. Hang on one second. I think it's $360,000. So, any further questions? Committee discussion? Any objections to moving the bill? Seeing none. Briefities.
Okay, I am moving now over to the Senate's Finance Committee's one. They are literally bouncing between things. Looks like they don't even have a full quorum in the room there for the Senate. Let's hear what's going on over in the Senate's floor session here.
Yet, but the staff will be working into the evening, working and preparing for tomorrow, because we have a lot of work to get done tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Stedman. Other committee announcements? Other announcements? Special orders? Really? Senator Stevens, under special orders.
Thank you, Mr. President. Moving to ask that I have the opportunity to speak about Let's Be Nice.
Under Let's Be Nice, without objection.
It has not passed my attention, Mr. President, that members, particularly in the other body, are being a lot nicer to me than they were before. I mean, I pass them in the hallway, and where they wouldn't even speak before, and now they offer me a cup of coffee, and here, take my seat. I mean, it has nothing to do, I'm sure, with the fact that I have their bills in my grubby little hands, but for whatever reason, a niceness that pervades the building. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I suggest you take what you can get, Senator Stevens. Okay. Brief at ease.
Alrighty, that was the Senate, and that was what was going on over there with them. Let's move on over into the House session now and see what we have happening in their location. They are recessed until 3:45. So let's find out what is going on in the next section that we've got going on today. I mean, there is a lot of different places that are working hard there to make sure that our best interests are not happening. So I'm going to guess that it is the Senate Finance Committee where all the action is going to be at, bringing them up right now. Oh, nope, that one just disappeared too. Oh man, what is going on? So the only one that is live is the Senate floor session, which is really astounding or amazing that that is the case. Let's get their volume back again so we can hear what's going on.
Passed and is transmitting for consideration. House Bill number 325 by Representatives Rasmussen, Tarr, Sponholz, Merrick, Fields, Schrage, Hopkins, Drummond, Carpenter, Josephson, McCabe, Vance, an act relating to domestic violence.
Judiciary.
Those are all the messages from the House at this time, Mr. President.
Okay, that brings us to a recess motion, Madam Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move and ask unanimous consent that the Senate stand in recess to the call of the chair.
Seeing no objection, the Senate is at recess.
Hello, sorry about that. Forgot to hit the microphone back on there. We're supposed to, at 3 o'clock today, the joint committee is supposed to meet. That is what they have on the calendar showing that they're supposed to be having a meeting of them right at this moment in time. And as you can see, they've had every committee going on under the books other than what they were supposed to be meeting for currently. So the Senate has now gone to a call of the chair, and the House has gone to a call of the chair, and the only thing that is currently happening at the moment is absolutely nothing that they are supposed to be doing in the first place. So if anybody got any clue to what happened to the session that was supposed to be going on, the joint session that was on the calendar today, I see it on the calendar. I mean, it shows right there at 3 o'clock. It is supposed to be the conference committee on HB 281, which is supposed to be their organizational meeting, is supposed to be happening right at this moment in time, and it's not. So where are they? Why are they not in the room like they're supposed to be? Why is this not going live? Where did it go? So those of you that are just tuning in for the first time today, yesterday they voted on the floor a vote of 18 to 22 to not concur the Senate's budget. So in other words, that $5,500 that was supposed to go to each and every Alaskan is now not going to happen. The arguments given by the radical left and the radical rhino Republicans there in the room were all reasons that the far left extremists, and I don't have no better way to put it, when you've got unions and school districts and teachers and political organizations like Save Our State and Ship Creek Group and Rasmussen Foundation out there lobbying, constantly lobbying our legislators, telling them not to give us a PFD, that the PFD makes this unsustainable budget, the largest budget in history. Let's do a reality check here. If you are to remove the permanent fund dividend completely out of the budget, which it never was a budget item until Governor Walker in the lawsuit, if you were to remove that from the budget and look back in the history of Alaska budgets, this is not the largest budget we have ever had in history. In fact, we've had many, over a dozen years worth of budgets out there that have had budgets 10 times larger, literally almost 10 times larger than what this current budget is. But back then, our PFD only had maybe $20, $30 billion in the corporation, and we were receiving extremely small checks based upon the formula. They're trying to claim because the permanent fund dividend is what makes this the largest budget in history. In reality, this is not the largest budget in history. They've had larger pork spending budgets in the past, and they just don't want to admit that. It is another false flag that they are throwing up to try smoke screen to try to convince Alaskans that they are recklessly spending money. In reality, if you remove our permanent fund dividend, yes, they are recklessly spending money. Pork spending, it's going to the top 20% out there, while the 80% of us Alaskans that really do depend on that permanent fund dividend every year, we're getting the shaft because they're stealing that money from each and every one of us and handing it right over to those special interests that told them not to pay us a statutory PFD this year. Not one penny of that budget will be cut from the special interest. The illegal forward funding of the $1.2 billion is still going to be left in the budget. It's not going to be removed. That is where the pork spending is. That is what makes this budget far and beyond sustainability. It never should have been added in the first place. They have given bonuses and raises to every government agency out there, and we are expected to pay for those raises next year with the money that they claim they don't have. That's why they can't pay us our PFDs. Ironic, isn't it? Money that they don't have, they're spending that they don't have. They don't have the money, but they're spending the money, giving bonuses and raises, illegally forward funding $1.2 billion to education. Now there's $60 million in a bonus to them, one-time bonus for this year only. $299 million going to them for bond debt, paying back all the previous bond debt that is there. And then you've got two maintenance packages that's about another $250 million on top of their regular $1.34 billion budget that is for their operational costs over the next fiscal school year. A grand total of $3.5 billion for a K through 12 budget that was last year only $1.34 billion. Ironic, isn't it, that the ones that they're saying is not making this sustainable, us Alaskans in our PFD, when in reality, when you break down the numbers, it's their illegal pork spending that's not making this budget sustainable. It's all the bonuses and raises that they gave across the board to every government agency out there, the attorneys, the judicial branch, the school teachers, you name it. If they work for government, they received either a bonus or they have received raises that we Alaskans are going to have to pay for in the future. And they claim that it's our PFD that makes this budget unsustainable. No, it's their reckless, radical spending that's making it unsustainable. I'm going to take another quick look and see if they actually got back into session here and what they are doing there. Oops, I opened up the wrong window. Let's get to the right one here. Come on now. There we go. Conference committee. There it is. There it is. Has it started yet? If so, I'll rewind it so we're at the very beginning.
Or sit at the
The conference committee is started, and we'll switch on over to them right now so that we can participate with what they are doing and what they are deciding in this meeting. Please make sure to like and share this video. I'll mute out their elevator music for a moment. Let me see if I can get this fast forwarded to where they are currently at right now so that we can actually begin to see this from the beginning, but not have to sit here and wait for their... Oh, there's Stedman walking into the room. Oops, I can hear myself double talking here because I forgot to turn down my volume once again. Okay, it looks like they are going to, as they say there in most cases, gavel in. Let's go ahead and move forward just a few more seconds here, see if we can actually catch them getting in place. Come on now. You can see them talking. Let's listen in, see if it's still elevator music going on there. Okay, they're all sitting at the table. We've just now got to sit and wait. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up and wait. Come on, you guys. It's supposed to start at 3 o'clock. You've done everything else but. Aha. How is it? There we go. All right, unmuting. Here we are.
I'd like to go ahead and call the conference committee meeting to order for the Operating and Mental Health Appropriations Bill, House Bill 281 and House Bill 282. The time is 9 minutes after 3 p.m., Sunday, May 15, 2022. Members present from the House, Representative Dan Ortiz, Representative Bart, LeBon, Representative Kelly Merrick, who is the Vice Chairman pending the election. And then from the Senate, Senator Click Bishop, Senator Bill Wielechowsk and myself, Stedman, Chair pending election.
I move that Senator Stedman serve as presiding chair of the FY23 Operating Budget Conference Committee on House Bill 281 and House Bill 282. Is there an objection? Hearing none, Senator Stedman will serve as the presiding chair.
I move that Representative Merrick serve as the vice chair of the FY23 Operating Conference Committee on House Bill 281 and House Bill 282. Is there objection? Seeing none, Representative Merrick will serve as the vice chair. As chair of the conference committee, I would like to review the process that we'll follow for these meetings. Both House and Senate budget processes allowed for public testimony. That portion of the process is now concluded. The conference committee will not be accepting public testimony. Second item, unless invited by the chair, only members of the conference committee may take part in the discussion or sit at the table. Next, Legislative Finance has been directed to prepare the motion sheets we will be using at the table. These sheets will summarize the difference between the two versions of the bills that are the business of this conference committee. When completed, the motion sheets will be posted on the Leg Finance Division website and will be updated after each meeting. Finally, the conference committee will operate under Uniform Rule 42. Adopting any motion or taking any action requires a majority vote of each body. A copy of Uniform Rule 42 and related legal opinions are in each member's packet. At this point, I would like to obtain a motion to adopt all identical items.
I move that all appropriations and language that are identical in both the House and Senate versions of House Bill 281 and House Bill 282 be adopted.
Seeing no objection, those items are adopted. Now, for those watching at home, I'm going to make a request for limited powers. I should explain a little bit more, I think, as we go along for those that are watching at home. Obviously, the last issues we did was to adopt all identical items in both bills to slim down the paperwork, because this committee works on the differences between the two bodies. So requesting limited powers. I would entertain a motion to request limited powers of free conference for budget items for which differences exist. I have distributed a letter for this purpose dated May 15, 2022, addressed to the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate. Under powers of free conference, the conference committee can adopt any amount between 0 and the higher number of the House or Senate version of each item subject to conference.
I move that the committee adopt the letter requesting limited powers of free conference for budget items that are not identical.
Seeing no objection, the letter is adopted. We'll take a brief at ease to sign two identical letters, one for each body. We are at ease.
Okay, you heard it there first, folks. They have agreed in their terms of this meeting that they are going to discuss only the things that are different between each budget. So that means the permanent fund dividend, all of the pork spending going to like bridges, ports, the roads, all of that additional stuff that was added in by the Senate will be completely stripped back out again. The House never, as far as I understand, ever gave them a capital spending budget. So the entire capital spending budget is completely up for being cut. I expect these legislators to do exactly what they did the past 6 years and cut all of the pork spending that would go to all of the red districts that do not align with their political agenda in play there in Juneau. just as they have done in the past. This is their way of punishing those legislators and punishing us constituents that voted them into office by making sure our districts won't benefit one penny from this budget. This is what they have done year after year after year. I cannot believe that the most corrupt members in the House and the Senate are the ones that make up this committee. They really do need to change the rules. Oh, they're back.
Operating and mental health budget bills after limited free powers of free conference have been received. Meetings will be posted as soon as possible on basis. And for those watching, we're going to try to have one in the morning. We'll just see how far we can get. We probably have at least 2, maybe 3 tomorrow, depending on how things go. And we may be going late into the day tomorrow, but Senate doesn't work at nighttime like the House does, so we'll see how that goes. So is there any other business or questions that members may have on the? Representative Merrick, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn this meeting of the conference committee.
Without objection, we are adjourned.
Alrighty, folks, you heard it first. You now know the truth. Get ready. Hold on to your shorts. The crap show is about to begin. They plan on meeting several times tomorrow, and just like you just saw there, unless you go to the Alaska Ledge website to see what documents they are changing, when they come back into these special committees and come in front of us, they're just going to list line items, and they're going to concur yay or nay to the changes they make. Very doubtful that they will actually verbalize what those changes are to all of us. They will just list off the line item in the budget and whether there's a concurrence on the changes that they decide to make. Again, just like they've done the last 6 years in a row, this will be year number 7. They will strip out anything that has to do with the districts that don't align with the political agenda and power, the powers that be. So that means, once again, those of us in the Mat-Su Valley are going to end up getting the shaft. And you can thank Rep. Kirka and Eastman for that happening, Rep. LeBon, Kelly Merrick, the list, every single one of those that voted no to concurrence yesterday, they all need to be replaced. I hate to say it, we've got 59 of the 60 legislators that are in the Senate and the House combined that are up for re-election, and 20 of them do not have a single person running against them. And guess who the ones that don't have anybody running against them are? The ones that are the thieves, the most corrupt, sitting there in Juneau right now. Those sitting in that room right now. Those are the ones that have nobody running against them. If they do, I'd be really, really shocked. But from the list I saw, Kelly Merrick doesn't have anybody running against her right now. LeBon doesn't have nobody running against her right now. Stedman, I believe, has somebody running against him, but the person that's running against him has ran a failed campaign every single year that they've tried to replace Stedman. This is the type of political games going on, and unless we get good qualified people to step up and replace these people, things are not going to change down in there in Juneau. And we have less than 3 weeks to get somebody in place to take and run against these corrupt legislators. So if you have the time, you have the will, you care about all Alaskans, please put your name into the hat. I'll guarantee you, you will find the support here in Alaska to replace these rhino Democrat Republicans and far left radical Democrats that are sitting down there in Juneau, and replace them with people that are going to work for all Alaskans. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Democrats. You guys all know that. You know where I stand. But, you know, when it comes down to who out of them I would replace, it wouldn't be Bill Wielechowsk. Why? Because Bill Wielechowsk is more conservative than any of the dang Republicans we have sitting down there right now, like Louise Stutz and Kelly Merrick and LeBon. You just really got to shake your head that we keep allowing this to happen. Alaskans are the only ones to blame. So they're going to meet 3 or 4 times tomorrow, and like I said, they will come to the floor like they just did there in the conference committee, and they will bring line items to the table, and they will almost never spell out what those line items are. They will just have a vote of yay or nay in agreement of concurrence or negativity towards the changes they're going to make within the budget. And the only time us Alaskans are going to find out what's in it is when it gets onto the Senate and the House floors for the final vote. Or you might be like me and actually go and look up what each and every line item they list off, because that's the only way to keep yourself informed on exactly what is going on and what they are doing. Again, this is crony capitalism at its worst. The unions are actively telling them that that PFD belongs to them. Natasha von Imhoff, the Rasmussen Foundation, is telling them, everybody down there, that money belongs to them. I'm really shocked she's not one of the ones from the Senate sitting over there. But considering who they have actually put in from the Senate party, it doesn't shock me at all. The only one in there that does not align with the other 5 is Bill Wielechowsk. The other 5 sitting in that room work directly 100% for the special interest of Alaska. They are bought and paid for to do their bidding, the top 20%, and make sure that money is flooded into their pockets, stealing it from each and every Alaskan. Final concept for all of you to understand. With what is going to happen there in Juneau, we were supposed to receive $5,500 this year. $4,200 was our statutory PFD. Another $1,300 was the stimulus check. We are no longer going to see a statutory PFD. They are going to go back to the House's version, which was $1,250. That $1,250 will not be used, or excuse me, not be paid using the earnings reserve account that the statutory law says that money is supposed to come from. They will change the funding for that $1,250 to be paid for using taxes. This is what they did last year, and they did half and half the year before. This is their way of justifying that the only way to pay the PFD is if they have enough taxes to do it. Ignore that $80+ billion sitting in the corpus and the earnings reserve account of the permanent fund dividend. That money doesn't exist for the PFD in their eyes. Only the taxes that come in can be used by their standards to pay for our permanent fund dividend, which is not a permanent fund dividend because the word permanent no longer even applies. It basically, it's kind of like the Supreme Court did with the word shall. They redefined it to mean may, and so shall and may both mean the same thing, so they may do whatever the hell they want down there. Wake up. $3,000 is going to be stripped from each and every Alaskan's pockets by the time they are done. You will only see, if we are lucky, $2,500. That is a $1,250 for the permanent fund, and the rebate check of $1,300, so $2,550. That's all we are going to see out of the $5,500 that they said they were going to give us. $4,200 is following the statutory PFD law that has been on the books for over 4 decades now. Please like and share this video. I'm hoping to be around tomorrow to be able to do more live streaming of their little committee meetings that they will be having there. But it's really debatable. I have a full workload ahead of me. I am in crunch time for the holiday weekend that's going to be here in just 2 short weeks. My customers are chomping at the bit, wanting to get me in the door, making sure that I have everything that they want fully functional and ready to go for the holiday season. This is a promise and a guarantee I have been giving my customers now for the past 20 years, and it always seems to happen right at the end of the session. Please take the time. You guys know the place. Go to akleg.gov. Click on the House, click on the Senate, both of their tabs. Contact your legislators, contact not your legislator, someone else's legislator, and let them know that they need to vote no on the joint consolidated budget that is going to come across the Senate and the House floor. They need to vote no. We need to tell them that we Alaskans would rather go into a special session than allow the corrupt crony capitalism that is going to detriment the ability for all Alaskans to survive over this next year, just so that they can flood our money into the special interest pockets, making sure that more Alaskans, more than the almost 40% of us that are living in poverty, will be shoved into poverty when this is all through. I know that $2,500 is barely even going to skim what is going to cost me just putting gasoline in my vehicle this next year. I know my gas prices are going to eat that $2,500 up. I already know that it would be around $6,000 just in gas. You take the hyperinflation for all food and other material items that's going on out there. I personally will need an additional $12,000 in income coming into the next year just to cover the expenses that the Brandon administration and the far left radical Democrats are forcing down all of our throats by shutting down our economy to capitalize on the crony capitalism for agenda items that have no way to ever pay out or make it economically feasible for us all to survive. The intent is to make us all subservient to the government, dependent upon the government for our survival, instead of us doing it for ourselves. That is how socialism works. That is how they gain control of the masses. Don't be surprised that more riots, looting, mostly fiery, peaceful protests become excavated and blow up, kind of like a nuclear bomb going off over the next 9 months until the election season is here in November. Over and over and over again, we're going to hear these reports of violent acts going on out there, and the left mainstream media calling these peaceful protests, just like they're doing with the people that are marching to the homes of the Supreme Court justices. We have laws against them doing that. Are they arresting them? Are they throwing them in jail? No. In fact, Joe Brandon, Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, you can go down the list of all the high-ranking politicians out there, are actually patting those people on the back, telling them, good job, keep it up. But if we, those that they call the MAGA, the ultimate MAGA generation out there, you know, us deplorables, if we were to ever do something like that, I guarantee you we'd all be sitting in jail right at this very moment in time. They would throw the book at of us, and we would never see the light of day again, just like they did during January 6th. But all those year-long protests since George Floyd on, all those people that burned down federal courthouses, police stations, police vehicles, private property, private businesses, completely took over pieces of the community, locking them down to where the people that lived there couldn't even get in. People being shot daily within those zones that they had built. This is what to expect over the next year, and it's only going to get worse. And here in Alaska, I'm really, really surprised that these legislators are not finding this happening within here, because I just can't fathom the greed. It's astounding. I just can't fathom it. Damn, Natasha, Yvonne, Imhoff, you and your line, I just can't fathom the greed. It's just entitlement. It is astounding. All right, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. I've got work to do, which is what I've been doing all day. I raced home just to be able to live stream that little short segment today to all of you. Please like and share this video so more Alaskans are informed. Go to our website, politidic.com. Click that support button. All proceeds go right into making sure that we can be here doing exactly what we're doing right now instead of out what makes us an income. I would love for this to be that and be able to do this kind of work 24/7, 7 days a week, breaking the latest news to all of you, bringing it to you uncut and unfiltered, something the mainstream media refuses to do, and giving you my own personal opinions on what I think is going on down there. Take them or leave them. That is always your choice. Your support has made it possible for us to be restreaming this right now on Politidic at Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and also on our website, politic.com. When we are live on Restream, we are also streaming live on our website right now. Please go to our website, click that support button. It's your support that has made this possible. Without your support, I wouldn't be able to restream all of this. I wouldn't have the cameras and microphones that give me the ability to do this clearly and uninterrupted to all of you. I would still be stuck using a 20-year-old laptop that could barely even open up Windows properly, let alone being able to do this type of live streaming and broadcasts on a daily basis. So your support is greatly needed. Go once again, to our website, politic.com. Click that support button. Whether it's $5, $10, become a monthly subscriber. All proceeds go right back into making sure we're out in the middle of it all, exposing what mainstream media and our corrupt government doesn't want you to know. Have a great day.